As you guys know, there was a new update recently in Grand RP. They released a brand new beginner job, and it's actually pretty cool. But when I tried it out, I had one major issue with it, and we're going to be talking about that today. It's not only with this job, it's with other ones as well. Before we get into it though, if you guys haven't joined the server already and want to, be sure to click the link down below in the description, click on start playing, select which server you want to play on, register an account, and you're good to go. But anyways, let's talk now. So the new job that just came out is obviously that garbage collection thing. You head on over to the oil fields, you rent yourself a truck or hop in your own car, and pretty much just pick up garbage. Now once you hit level 3, you make about 300 bucks per bag. There is one thing I do want to check really quickly because I'm not sure if I missed it the first time I tried it. Alright, let me take a look. Alright, we rented the vehicle, and we have to drive 4 miles to go and collect 2 bags of garbage. What I'm wondering about is, how do you end up making that $3,000? I know once you're level 3, you're able to actually hire people and you could do jobs with them and you can make a little bit more money, just like you would do if you were working at a farm or at electrical. It's just this right here I'm a little bit confused about because I don't really know how to get the $3,000. But either way, when I tried it out, the very first place I had to go was about 2 miles away. The next place was 6 miles away up in Paleto Bay. So I spent about 5 minutes driving all the way up to Paleto Bay in a garbage truck just to collect 2 bags of garbage. And another thing that happens, obviously those things run on gas. By the time I got up there, I've already used $810 worth of fuel in the garbage truck, and I collected 2 bags of garbage and got $600. So if I wanted to refuel the truck, I would actually lose money. And then I had to drive all the way back to the city from Paleto Bay to the airport, 7.4 miles, which is about another $800 worth of fuel, maybe even a bit more, just to collect 2 bags of garbage. Then I had to drive 2 miles from there, and then I had to go all the way back up to Paleto Bay, and that's when I said I've had enough of this, because we're only making about $600 for these garbage bags that we're collecting. Now, if you can't already tell what the issue I'm talking about here is, it's the driving. See, it would be very different if all of the locations were about a mile or 2 from each other, because then it can actually become very, very profitable for a beginner. But if you have to drive 7 miles to collect 2 bags of garbage, get 600 bucks, and then drive another 6 miles to get another 2 bags, it's not really worth it for you. And then you're going to have to go fill up gas. And I always don't recommend filling up gas in big trucks or anything like that. I would always recommend renting a brand new one, just because it's only 300 bucks to rent a new truck when it could be $4,000, $5,000 to fill up gas in one of the trucks. But either way, the issue I see is the driving distance, and I think that's what kind of ruins it for a lot of people. For example, let's say the first bag of garbage you had to pick up was right here. You pull over in your truck, you grab the garbage, toss it in the back of the truck. And then let's say the next one was just over here at this photo studio. So you would go here, and you would also pick up some bags here. And then you would drive all the way over here. And then you would drive down the road a bit further, and maybe there's some bags you got to pick up at government, and you pretty much just drive around the city. Everything is in a much closer proximity to each other, instead of driving 7 miles to pick up 2 bags of garbage. Obviously, in real life, that's not what garbage truck drivers would do. They go from house to house, or they go from one building, pick up the dumpster, dump it in the garbage truck, and then go to another building and do the exact same thing. It's not only with this job, though. For example, when you go to the scuba diving place and you rent a submarine, you go over to the first location, maybe it's 2 miles away, and then you go to the next location. When I tried it, it was like pretty damn far away. I can't remember how far, but I had to drive really, really far, and obviously you can only go about 40 kilometers an hour in the submarine. And then I had to go all the way back, and then all the way back again. It was just so much driving, and I mean, honestly, from that, you actually made a whole lot more money than you get from this garbage thing. Because at least there, I was getting $1,300 per checkpoint I got to, I guess. With the garbage truck thing, you're getting 600 bucks. And that is if you're level 3. If you're level 1, you're only getting $100. So imagine you're level 1, you have to drive in your own car, you go and pick up 1 bag of garbage, and then you gotta drive 6 miles to go pick up another bag, and you only get paid $100. Like I said, if everything was in a much closer proximity, all of these beginner jobs would be much better. So if I think the developers of Grand changed this up a little bit, these beginner jobs would be much, much more profitable for beginners and more fun for people who aren't beginners. Because if you were to go over there, start working, and the very first job you get, you have to drive 7 miles to pick up 2 bags of garbage. So you're like, okay, fine, whatever. I'll do it one time. You go and pick them up, and then it says the next location is another 7 miles away. Probably not too happy. You might go to that location, or you might just hop out of the truck, quit the job, and go do something else in the city. Because obviously, that's not fun. See, in other RP servers, when I did a garbage collection job, you get in the garbage truck, you go pick up the garbage, put it in the truck, and then you get the next location, which is maybe a mile away. And it's all throughout the city, or through the ghetto. The money you got from it was actually pretty decent too, somewhat realistic, and you could also find things in the trash, which was really cool. But either way, to make this better, they're just going to need to shorten the distances, because I don't want to have to drive 14 miles combined to earn $1,200. Think about that. $1,200. 14 miles of driving. Not that fun. And for a beginner, they're not going to be able to get a lot of money from that. And if you're driving a slow-ass garbage truck, let's say driving 14 miles, it'll take you about 10 minutes in total. So in about an hour, you might be able to make, I don't know, 10K if you're lucky, which is not that great at all. I definitely think it should be updated, not just for garbage collection, but for other jobs where it requires you to drive really freaking far. Even with trucking sometimes, but at least with trucking, you drive really far away and you get paid a whole lot more money. I believe with trucking, if you get an order that's like 200 items, it's $6,000 for you. So even if you have to drive all the way to Paleto Bay and back, you make $6,000. But with the garbage thing, you drive to Paleto Bay and back, you make $1,200. You see the difference there? So let me know what you guys think of this down below. I just wanted to bring it up because it kind of bugs me. If we're going to have to drive really, really far away, at least make the money that we get good. Or instead of making us drive really far away, make it more realistic, where everything is in a closer proximity. We get the same amount of money or a bit less, but you can get it a lot more frequently. Either way, the job is really cool, but the driving, not my favorite thing in the world, and it's not super realistic. I think it should all be in a closer proximity. For example, let's say there's 3 different routes you could pick from. Like when you become a bus driver, you go and pick up garbage in the ghetto, or you go pick up garbage in the canals, or in Vinewood Hills, or in downtown. Or you can select to pick it up all the way up in Paleto Bay and Sandy Shores. Something like that would be good, because it's all in close proximity to each other, and, you don't have to drive 14 miles to earn a tiny bit of money. Anyways, I think I covered everything that I wanted to say. Let me know what you think of it down below, and if you think it should be improved, and if not, let me know why. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you guys in the city soon.